with yours truly, Mr. TALIAFERRO. I'm gonna catch you guys up on a story we've talked about on my platform for a couple of years now. If you remember correctly, back in 2018, my February 12th brethren, me and Ralo share the same birthday. Ralo was arrested in connection to a big-time weed case. So the feds claim they caught Ralo and a few of his homies trying to smuggle almost $2 billion worth of drugs on a private plane on 2 different occasions. Then Ralo was 23. He's now 25 years of age. Ralo's been held without bail as judge reviewed the evidence, all that. Right now, he's just locked up and held without any type of bail or bond. Police claim that they have been monitoring Ralo's activities for several months, and they eventually subpoenaed a Centurion jet, aka a global jet, to gain access to all of Ralo's emails, who was personally booking jets from Atlanta to Sacramento, California. They set up surveillance videos and watched Ralo arrive in 2 black vans, a Mercedes Sprinter van, and one for an Ecoline van. Investigators watched him and 11 other individuals depart on a round-trip flight from the Fulton County Airport to Sacramento. When they returned, agents from FBI, ATF, and Georgia State Police watched Ralo and his cohorts unload 37 packages of marijuana wrapped in white holiday paper. The cops stopped the 3 occupants of the vehicle, which was registered to Ralo, as it was departing from the airport, for driving with their lights off. Cops could smell the strong odor of weed, so they searched the van and found 520 pounds of pot worth about $1 million on the street. To make matters worse, investigators say that the rapper unloaded footage of himself surrounded by these individuals and the vans on December 21st, the day before the 3 men were busted. The same scenario unfolded, and this is what led to Ralo's arrest on April 14th of 2018 on another trip when the men was leaving the Sacramento airport for Cobb County International Airport. As the passengers boarded in Sacramento, investigators watched 5 men and 1 woman load 17 packages wrapped in the same white holiday paper. According to the pilots, Ralo and his crew openly smoked marijuana on a plane as it flew coast to coast and changed airports mid-flight. The FBI was monitoring the plane, so they were waiting for the rapper and his crew when they arrived at the Peachtree DeKalb Airport. Police arrested all of the passengers while Ralo allegedly refused to obey to the commands until they sent in the K9 unit. The FBI found 17 packages, some of which had been torn and exposed in the green marijuana wrapped in clear cellophane plastic bags. The total amount seized in the raid of the plane was over 444 pounds of weed, worth about $840,000. The FBI, they believe that Ralo was selling the drugs from several apartments that he owned and rented, and he called it Ralo's Hood. Government has seized or frozen $2 million worth of assets Ralo has acquired, including 25 properties, luxury cars, and over $1 million. Well, as Ralo continues to put together a case, he's trying to defend himself. He's pled not guilty to all of this stuff. Ralo has filed a motion asking for the court's permission to test the high-grade marijuana federal agents seized from his private jet. Mr. Davis, through counsel, has been asking for the United States Attorney's Office for permission for an independent expert to view, test, and examine the alleged marijuana at issue in this case, and that's from Ralo's lawyer, Brian Steele. Ralo is asking a judge to assign a date so his independent experts can examine the evidence because the United States Attorney's Office has not provided a date yet. The only thing that I could come up in which why Ralo would want to have this weed examined is, maybe he's saying the feds don't know what they're doing. This has been a big mistake. This is not my weed. I would have only sold a certain type of weed. I don't believe that it's high grade weed. So essentially he's trying to say he wasn't moving loud. That's essentially what I put together. I think that would make a lot more sense if Ralo was pleading guilty and he was like, yeah, this was my weed, but it wasn't like I was moving the biggest and the greatest of weed across the country. That would make more sense to me with what we see now with him pleading not guilty. To me, this just seems like a desperate move to try to put some type of defense together on a case that's really bad. I just don't know how Ralo's team did not advise him to plead guilty to some of this stuff. again, pleading not guilty, when it's going to be tough to make a case in Ralo's favor with the amount they watched him. Y'all saw what I read. Y'all heard what I read. They watched this dude for months. They got everything. The feds don't strike unless they know they got you. So I think he's just kind of scrambling at this point, trying to put the case together. But I am wishing Ralo and everyone involved the best. Again, this is not a violent case. This is about weed. I personally believe weed should be legal. That's my thought process behind it. So I hate the fact that this dude's going to do time for something that in certain parts of the country it's legal to smoke weed. I've always thought that was ridiculous. We'll see what happens. It's a quick news break with yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids, they tuned in.
We locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.